Mr. Bill Poker Peeps. Hey, the word of this week is variance. I wasn't always on the right side of variance this week. You guys will see that in a number of hands. It was a fun week. It was a very, very busy week. I got tons of stuff going on, but I managed to get a few sessions in, so I'm happy of that. Wednesday Night Poker League, it's our quarterly event. That means a whole bunch of money added. It's the first break. I have 16,600. I started with 13,500. Everybody gets 10,000, and then you get bonus chips based on how you've done in the other tournaments of the quarter. So I started with like the 7th most out of 34 players. So anyhow, chipped up a little bit. I think only a couple players have been knocked out so far. So we're very, very far away from getting to any kind of money. Probably a good first prize tonight. I would guess somewhere around $1,000, $1,100 for an $80 tournament. Wow, what a week. Thursday, my wife and I flew to Wichita, Kansas to watch Billy play in his second game back after being injured. We had to catch a flight at 3:50 in the morning back Friday morning to Dallas. Then Saturday we flew to Tulsa and watched Billy play in another game, and then flew back from Tulsa on Saturday night, and then I got in about 8:30 and then went to WinStar. So there's one 5-5 game going on, and I think I was like 5th on the list. There was a 5-10-20 game. I didn't want to play in a 5-10-20. There was a lot of 2-5 games, so I played in the 2-5 game. The first table I was at, I folded my first 18 hands, went to the podium, and asked for a table change. I changed to a table that was absolutely crazy. First thing when I got there, the guy said, "Are you drinking?" I mean, there was everybody at the table, not everybody, but there was 6 or 7 of the guys that were just drinking heavily, and then there was 2 or 3 people who were not, like me. But it was an interesting table, lots and lots of action, people getting it in. So I'm in the cutoff with 4-5. I have $480. There was 3 limpers. I went ahead and limped. The button makes it 35. Eventually, there was 5 of us that saw the flop. I called when it came back to me. So with 175 in the pot, the flop comes pretty good. 4-4-5. Holy cow. It checks to the button. She bets 45. The big blind calls. I decide to go ahead and make the call instead of raising. So the turn now has $310 is the 2 of hearts. It checks around. The river is the jack of clubs. It checks, and then I bet 110, and the button tank calls, and the other guy folds. She had pocket queens. This girl, poor girl, she ran horrible all night long. I think she was stuck about 3,500 by the end of the night, and she had overpair, 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 and simply could not win a hand, and this was one of the examples. Next hand was something I don't think I've ever done before. I'm in middle position with pocket queens. I have $730. The under the gun makes it 15. I raise it to 40. The button calls, and the under the gun calls. So the flop is $127 in it. It comes 10, 6, 5 rainbow, and the under the gun leads out for 300. 300. I ended up folding. He turned over a set of 5s. Holy cow. I'm so glad that he did that, because I would have ended up losing my whole stack probably. So here's a really interesting variance hand. I'm in the +1. I have Queen of Hearts, 10 of clubs. I have 730. There was a limper. I called. The middle position 2 player raises it to 30. Eventually, there was 5 of us that saw the flop I had called. So on the flop, there's 150. and the flop comes queen of clubs, 7 of spades, 3 of diamonds, and it checks around. The turn, pretty good, a 10 of hearts. I lead for 100. There's a big stack player that makes a call. The other big stack player makes it 300. I'm not going to mess around. I shove all in for 700. First big stack folds. Second big stack goes in the tank and eventually makes the call. The river is the 3 of hearts. He turns over ace of hearts, 6 of hearts for a flush. That is so sickening to me. Ugh! I did the right thing. I got it all in. Variance got me. I lost my whole stack. The first buy-in was gone. So the next hand, there's a straddle to 10. I'm in middle position 1 with 9 of diamonds, 10 of diamonds. I have 480 after buying back in. I make it 25, the big blind and the under the gun call. So we're going to a flop with 77, and it comes queen of diamonds, 10 of hearts, 2 of diamonds, pretty good flop. It checks to me, I make it 40. The big blind, who happened to be the guy who beat me with the ace-6 earlier, big stack, makes 240. The under the gun folds, and I make the call. The turn with 357 in the pot is the queen of clubs, really a bad card. It does go check. The river is the 9 of clubs, and he shoves all in for 25. I can't do anything here. Obviously, I don't have enough, but at least he gave me a free card to see another diamond. The next hand, I'm on the button with 4 clubs, 5 of clubs. I have $550. There's 3 limpers. I make it 30, and they all call. So the flop with 127 comes 4 of diamonds, 4 of hearts, 7 of hearts. That's a pretty darn good flop if you're going to raise on a 4 or 5 of clubs. It's checked to me. I make it 60, and unfortunately, they all fold. Wow, what a good flop, though. On this next hand, I'm in the cutoff with queen of hearts, jack of clubs. I have $650. There's 2 limpers to me. I make it 20, and both of the limpers call. One of the limpers was a pretty drunk guy. The flop came, with 67, came queen, 9-7. The end of the gun, kind of drunk guy, donks into me for 10. He'd been doing it all night. The next guy folded. I made it 30, and he made the call. The turn with 127 is the 10 of clubs. Again, he donks into me for 15. I raised to 40, and he makes the call. So the river with 207, not such a great card. King of diamonds, he checks. I tank for a while. I ended up checking it back, and the reason I did is because this guy had like $2,000, and he had shown that a lot of times when somebody bet on the river, he would just go all in. So obviously my hand can't stand a raise, so I decided to go ahead and check it back, and he had 8-9 for what, middle pair on the flop. I win. I'm in the hijack with pocket aces. Yes for me. 740 is in my stack. The +1, very big stack, that's 25. I make it 70. And then the cutoff, this female who I talked about, who just ran so awful. She was short and had $240, and she pushed it all in. Big stack, tanked and fold. Of course, I make the call. And the board runs ace of diamonds, 7 of diamonds, 2 of clubs, 5 of diamonds, 8 of clubs. I show my set of aces. She mucks, and that was it for her for the night. I felt for her because she just had an awful night. So I was supposed to leave at 1 o'clock. I told my wife I'd be home earlier. So at about 2:45, I couldn't leave the game. It was just too good a game. There was people that were just loose and getting it in and drinking too much and all this kind of stuff. And here I am. I'm still down $500. I'm in the hijack, pocket queens. I have $690. The end of the gun guy who was, he was still drunk, and they had been not serving alcohol for about an hour. He bets 80, and then a very, very good young player who had come to the game makes the call. Now, the guy who had raised previously, he had already called all-ins of $400, and I can't remember what the other one was. When he raised, he was not going away. So I have the pocket queens. I decided to go ahead and just shove all in for $690. The under the gun guy does go ahead and make the call. Middle position 1, the good young player, he tanks for a long time, eventually folds and did not like it. The board ran out. 4-4 jack, 4. jack. I have pocket queens. Hopefully that's good. And it is. He had ace queen. So anyhow, I ended up leaving not long after that. That guy left the table, and then some of the other guys, when he left, they left. So the game kind of broke up because the easier money was leaving. Anyhow, it was quite the game. I was on the wrong side of variance to win too much money, but I ended up winning after being stuck for a while. I ended up winning $225. Not great, but better than losing. So I'll take it. All right, well, I haven't been doing very much traveling. I've only been playing at WinStar and my local tournaments. This next week I'm going to play at Line Shack in one of their tournaments. I'm hoping that I can make a trip soon. It might be to Cleveland to see my mom, or Florida I would love to go to. My wife and I are going to Rome in November, and I haven't looked at the casinos there, see if there's any poker there. So we'll see. Maybe I'll be doing a vlog from Roma, Italy. All right, guys, I think that's going to do it for this vlog. If you like what you've seen, press the thumbs up. If you want to subscribe, click on my head. Oh, ouch. And I appreciate all the comments and feedback that I get. I just really like that stuff. I try to respond back to everybody in a short period of time, so hopefully I'm doing that. Here's what I want you guys to do this week. I want you to have a blessed week. Live thankfully, and you'll be much, much better off. All right, guys. See y'all next week. Bye.